Right, yeah, so today we're going to talk about nutrition. This can be more of a guided podcast. These are more like these quick, snippy ideas, and obviously got Coach Rich back again, which is great because he's obviously the mindful, experienced one on all of these things. So yeah, just super quick. If somebody hasn't seen us before or seen, well, you don't have to introduce me. That's been very pleasant. Yeah, but yeah, just super quick. Give us a overview who you are, and then we'll jump into our nutrition chat today.
I'm Rik Stevens. I've just retired after 30 years service in the police. Did 5 years in the military before that, so I've got served for 30 years to King and Queen. In the last couple of years, I've been studying to be a mental welfare coach and a hypnotherapist. I'm now a hypnotherapy trainer and a mental welfare coach trainer as well. Studying the mental welfare coach, that led me into looking at nutrition a lot more and how that affects your mental health. And then in the last 4 or 6 months, I've been studying with Dale Pinnock for a nutritional coaching diploma.
Amazing. Good. And you also are a busy dad.
Very much so.
And you love dogs.
Yep.
And you do CrossFit.
Yep.
And the Bruce Wayne backstory, because we obviously, if you do want to see our full podcast that we did last year, I can't believe it's been nearly a full year as well.
Yeah.
Where both of us didn't really have a clue about cameras and YouTubes and videos and stuff. But yeah, so that's obviously how we know each other's good passion for fitness. So in our other podcasts, through your whole mental health, wellness and ideas, you found a lot of connections, which is true, between the food that we eat and the way our mind works. Correct?
Very much so.
Good. What are we going to hit up today?
So I've always been interested in nutrition, exercise, keeping fit and eating wholesome foods. Doing the mental welfare coaching a couple of years ago, that's led me on to the gut microbiome, which is a whole new thing for me, and it's quite a new development in the last 20 years anyway, and how modern day foods are affecting us physically and mentally. So all the additives they're chucking in there, so everything they put on the labels, you read the big labels at the top, it's got wheat, it's got meat, or whatever it's got, everybody turns off by the time it gets to all them chemicals at the end. And what are they doing to us? And some of the chemicals even look like they're good stuff, like caramel. There's something called caramel something or other, but that's actually an emulsifier and stuff like that. So they're not having good effects on our body. And the fact that they're processing the food so much and making it so refined that we're not really digesting it. You can put modern day bread on your tongue and it will just dissolve into your bloodstream.
Right.
So that is giving you big insulin spikes. So with your big insulin spikes, your body's working harder to get the metabolism down. And with all the chemicals in there, your body doesn't really know what to do with them. And it just gets sort of to a confused state. And it causes inflammation in the body, in the joints, in the cells. So you're always putting yourself under stress.
I do feel like sometimes if I smash a bag of Haribo or like eat loads of jelly babies or ice cream, the next day like my knee or my ankle is always a bit sore and like swollen. Like you definitely like there seems to be some sort of sugary relationships to like a bit of like arthritis or joint pain.
There is. I mean, sugar, it inflames the joints. It changes the cell structure so they become more inflamed. Salt. And then the ultra-processed foods as well, there's all sorts of things in there your body doesn't know what to do with, so it just sort of puts it to one side and hopes it gets rid of it. If you didn't have that to start with, you wouldn't get that.
Yeah. But sorry, so is this where like nutritionists study for 3 years and that's why they're like nutritionists? And there's a lot of also, without jumping into our next bit about the people on YouTube and stuff, but there is like quite complex things about nutrition that isn't just picked up in the gym from your bro science.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I signed up to Dale Pinnock's diploma course, thinking it will just be reinforcing everything I know and get a certificate behind it. But I'm having to do case studies and find the peer study reviews, and you're just spending hours looking at different bits of it. So this morning it was just all about omega-3s, omega-6s and omega-9 oils.
Yeah.
So omega-6 oils, they cause inflammation.
Yeah.
As a caveman, monkey man, we would have omega-6 and omega-3 in a 1-to-1 ratio because you'd have something with omega-6 in it, but then you'd have something omega-3 in it, and they balance each other out, and that's the important thing. But everything's plied with sunflower oils, and all sunflower oils and everything else that's bad for you. So the omega-6 then inflames your joints. You're not getting the omega-3s at the other end because they're more expensive. So your ready meals and stuff like that haven't got your omega-3 oils in. So you're loading the omega-6 side loads, in some cases up to 32 to 1.
Right.
So that's how out of sync we are with our natural rhythms. So that's just the thing on nutrition-wise. You've got to look how much of different oils that you're consuming in your diets. When I ask people, are you eating healthy? They go, oh, yeah. But when you strip it down to what are you actually eating, then you realise there's a big imbalances there.
But so what? So if you just say you're going to eat a couple of cashew nuts or peanuts during the day, that's good fats and all of this stuff. But then what you're saying is like it's quite more complex than just like having some olive oil and saying you're having good oil and stuff.
Yes, because you've got to. It's all the hidden stuff in the packaged foods that you don't know what you're having. So if you're aware of that, so if you have a packet of crisps, it's in sunflower oils.
Yeah.
If you're having ready meals, they're full of salt, even sugars now, and vegetable oils. So that's all your vegetable
oils.
Palm oils, which is a vegetable oil.
Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry.
So that is omega-6 rich.
Right.
And what omega-3 have you had during the day? A couple of nuts.
Yeah.
Did you have your fatty fish? Omega-9s are in your olive oils, some seeds. Olive oils and a couple of avocados.
Okay.
So they're anti-inflammatory as well. But your fatty fish is your best one. So that's where you have your omega oil tablets.
But generally, like, without breaking down the microscience of all of the food, because we're not quite there yet. I mean, you're getting there. I'm literally just lost in the dark. How do we give some busy dads some simple advice on nutrition? So obviously our main pillars is going to be cooking wholesome food at home, right? And then we were just chatting previously about some simple tricks and habits you can have. So let's do tricks first. So what tricks can we do to make food nice and simple and easy to cook? So
we come back to what have you got? Have you got time? Have you got you don't know how to cook, time, and what to cook? So you've got to store your fridges and your cupboards with the healthy stuff. So if you go into the supermarkets, just go to the first two aisles. You've got your fruit and veg, and you've got your meat. Tinned vegetables, maybe. Frozen vegetables, yes. Or frozen meats, yes. Yeah. But the rest of it, it's all a con. It's just there to make you eat more food. So quick, what we're going for? Hacks.
So no, don't say the word hack. No, I'm joking.
Quick tips is quick cooking. So cut your meat up smaller so it cooks quicker.
Yeah.
Joe used to be a chef, so get some onions, red onions, more polyphenols, red onions, garlic. See, that's always a good base. And then you can chuck in a few more veg if you want, chuck the meat in, and then just fry that up together. So you've already got a good base. And then a tomato sauce or chopped tomatoes, and then just reduce that down, chuck in some spinach on top for some good greeny iron veg. Yeah. And that takes about 20 minutes. That's it. Yeah. Or bulk cook that for the week. And don't put the spinach in because it will go black and it will sour the tomato sauce. But if you bulk cook a massive batch of chicken and tomatoes for the week, then split it up into little containers. So I was chatting to a single chap last week, and he said, I don't like bulk cooking at the beginning of the week. Oh, really? When I said, but you can buy 2 bits of chicken and cook tomorrow's dinner as well, or tomorrow's lunch in a different way. And then it's like, oh yeah. So it's not, when people say batch cooking, that's like for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I've got to do big meals. But even just cooking 2 meals at once, and one in the freezer or in the fridge for later, then that's a bonus as well. Oh yeah, I don't like batch cook and eat the same frickin' thing every meal. I'll batch cook, and then I normally batch cook, so I'll batch cook, say a big mince. I'll know that I probably won't even have mince that evening because I will be making something else at the same time. So then I'll have the mince maybe for lunch. Then, as you said, I could make some wraps with the mince. Then I might freeze a small portion of it, or I have it then again on Friday, because cooked food can normally keep within, and don't quote me on this, right? It's taking me back to my kitchen days. Cooked food can normally keep 3 to 4 days or 5 days. I mean, in your own fridge without a health and safety inspector coming to your house, I think you're okay with some mince after 5 days. It's a sniff test. Yeah. So you did touch on some 3 brilliant titles there. So we had time, knowledge, so not knowing how to cook. So we've talked a little bit about time. We talked then knowledge of not knowing how to cook, and then what was the third one? Having it stored. Storing. There? Was that right? Yes, having food on hand. Okay, so then knowledge. So what would you do right now if you were a single dad or a single lad or just a mum who's suddenly got to now cook at home and has been at work all the time? What would you do to gain some knowledge?
rather than just pick up, say, Jamie Oliver's recipe book or Otto Lengi's book?
Play. Don't be scared to play. As long as you cook your meat through, you're not going to get poisoned. So your average base, my go-to is chop onions up finely, a bit of garlic, and that's a really nice base.
Italians call that soffritto.
There you go.
Soffritto.
And maybe chuck thinly chopped carrots in there.
Yeah.
Courgettes.
Nice. French call it mirepoix. Yeah.
Courgettes. Even broccoli.
This is the base for all French and Italian cooking in restaurants.
So I'm not wrong then, am I?
Is a chopped onion, garlic, normally a chopped onion, garlic, and maybe a carrot. And then you can make anything from a stew to risotto to, you don't put carrot in risotto.
So do you put the onions in and let them caramelise, let them cook for 5 to 10 minutes?
Because you get natural sugars.
Then you get, and that's the nice flavours.
Yeah.
So there's your natural base. And once you've got that natural base, and that takes 5 to 10 minutes.
We should have done this as a cooking show.
Yeah. And then chuck your meat on top of that, however long the meat cooks.
Yeah.
So, if it takes 20 minutes for a big breast, or chop that up to little pieces, and you can take 5 or 10 minutes. So
or put it in your air fryer, and then who knows what it takes.
Fryer, bit of oil, air fryer, put your chicken in there, bit of olive oil on around it, stick it in there. But then you've got your seasoning as well, a bit of cumin, turmeric, or any sort of mixed herbs, anything. Put your chicken, if you're putting it in the air fryer, in almond flour. So you just quickly rinse around there. In the oil, and that.
I haven't tried that one.
Well, there you go.
But then you don't need oil though in the air fryer. Because it might burn the flour.
It just sort of gives it a nice finish.
Yeah, true.
But then you can cook it in the air fryer, bring it out for the last minute, stick it in the frying pan.
But hold on, so then I just touched on another classic dadism or like dietism from being a PT, and then obviously when you talk to people is that like they say, so you get sometimes overweight people say to me like, well, I can't drink orange juice. And it's like, well, no, it's not the orange juice that's got you into this situation, So like, normally people will be like, well, no, I've got an air fryer, so I shouldn't use any oil. But actually, like a teaspoon of oil,
literally just
roll it is actually good oils for us.
Yes.
But what a lot of people are thinking is that they're worrying so much about when they go on a diet that they got to cut out oil, they got to cut out like they read somewhere that peanut butter is really fattening, so they don't have any. But it's not peanut butter is really fattening; it's tablespoons of peanut butter are fattening. It's not knowing how much peanut butter you're putting in your porridge. It's like just having a big squeeze and not measuring it. If you were in a calorie deficit diet, which required you to count your calories.
So my belief, calories are last century. They were designed in the 1900s. And all the foods were real foods when they designed that. But then all your clever commercial companies now, they're going, well, it's bread. But your bread now is totally different to what was designed in the 1900s, and all the calorific values were bound off that. So now there is no nutritional value in the food you're eating, where there was back then. So 100 calories also gave you loads of nutrients, but now 100 calories is just pure calories and no nutritional value. So you have to eat more for it, and you feel hungrier. So
is that why if I eat a bar of chocolate, like a kilo bar of chocolate, I don't actually get fat the next day? Like I'm not 3,000 calories suddenly heavier the next day.
No. But your body is storing that.
Is it?
It's giving it a big insulin boost to put the glycemic index right up.
So have you ever worked with anyone that binge eats? Do you know anything about binge eating at all? Not that we did say we were going to talk about this, but
I haven't.
Yeah.
But up until Christmas, I'd sugar-free, ultra-processed food-free. I was just cooking my own foods and being really good. But then at Christmas, I reneged and had a few Quality Street.
Yeah.
But once you start that sugar, and it's an addictive drug, you find yourself back at the Quality Street tin.
Yeah, well, it's like Monopoly at that point. It's not Quality Street, it's I want the whole board, you know.
But then I'm thinking, why am I back here? I don't need... I'm actually
because you need to collect £200.
Because it's an addictive drug. So if I put a bit of cocaine or heroin in there, you're going to come back for more. But that's all what sugar does.
Well, I do not think Cadbury's put cocaine or heroin in their chocolate.
No, but they put sugar in there, so you go back for more.
Right. But surely that's linked to the monkey brain that we talked about in our other episode, about how naturally as a human, the monkey brain overrides and goes, I want more of that instant fixed dopamine. I want more of that high calorie value, because it still thinks that occasionally we might have to go walk to collect water, even though we have a tap in our house.
Yeah.
So your body still thinks, we better eat as much of this high calorie food because we might want to store that.
But you also get that dopamine rush that makes you feel good
good
when
old
you're
dopamine,
doing it. So
my favourite.
That's the balance. But if you've got to be strong and take yourself off it, wean yourself off it. I mean, alcoholics do it through AA and other ways, weaning yourself off a dependent drug. And you've got to think of sugar the same way. If you wean yourself off it, then you don't crave it.
I love it.
And you do get more enjoyment out of the other foods.
So it's not just about, you said, well, did you say just like be stronger minded about it? Or yeah. It's not just about that though, is it?
No.
So how do we address some simple mindset adjustments if you were to try and, so we've made better food, yeah? We've prepped our better food, but our mindset's still not there. So how do we then, you know, because like an alcoholic, suppose, you know, like you won't even have chocolate in the cupboard.
Yep.
Yeah. But theoretically, if you're a busy dad with kids and stuff like that, that's a bit extreme. If I was to turn around to my busy dads in the group and be like, right, that's it. Remove all Pringles and chocolate from your cupboards because you are an alcoholic addicted to chocolate. They would think I'm mad.
I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm the same. My children hate me looking at them now when they go to get their chocolate.
Yeah.
But there's a cupboard that they got their stuff. But I've got my stuff over here. I have a pot of nuts, mixed nuts on the side.
Yeah.
And I leave them on the side so the kids eat them and nick my nuts, which is a good thing because they don't get enough goodness in their diet. But a lot of diet, as anything, is habit.
Okay. So how do we change these habits?
Change the habits. Have different stuff to go to. Again, filling your cupboards. Have your nuts on the side.
Yeah.
Rye Vita. It's got rye. It hasn't got wheat in it. It's got natural things in it. So
I eat brown bagels, raw, and people are like, "Really?
Raw bagels?
Yeah.
Do you make them yourself?
No. Okay, fine. They're made by a big company that makes them, but the brown whole wheat bagels are literally about as interesting as eating a toilet roll.
They must be good for you then.
Yeah. Well, no. Okay, fine. Let's not get to Eddie Abdu straight away. But they're better than
so have that
than
healthy
hot cross
choice.
buns.
So if
I can also eat a whole pack of hot cross buns.
If you like cheese, go for cottage cheese. It's less fat in it. But if you like cheese, that's fine. Just a little bit of cheese on your bagel or on your cracker.
Yeah.
That is my habit. I sort of have a little. It's not a dive, but. Late afternoon, about 2 hours before dinner, I'm just suddenly, I'm a bit bored. And that's when I would normally snack. So I've got my mixed nuts, or I've got some crackers, a bit of cheese, just to tie me over till dinner. So I'm not going for that healthy snack bar that the manufacturer says healthy, or the chocolate. You know, I've got a good alternative, and there's a win. So that's, if I've got people working with me, there's like, oh, I took a good choice today. There was a win. You know, I avoided that, and so they reward themselves for that. But then you've also got to have a buy-in. So why do you want to lose? Why do you want to change?
Well, because I'm fat.
Because you're fat. But
because Instagram tells me I'm fat.
Excellent. But as a person, especially blokes, we're indestructible. So whatever you tell me, I can quit smoking anytime you like.
Yeah.
But to do it yourself, it's really hard. But if I had someone at work and I said, right, imagine your child in 10 years' time saying, come on, Dad, let's play rugby with me. And she, I can't because my knees are playing up. And I really just can't move out of this chair. Hitting that emotion of their child tapping into that, that becomes a bit more real. So as when you sort of talk to people, find out what their buy-in is. My big buy-in is, why am I giving money to food manufacturers when they're not feeding me properly? In fact, you know, they're giving us all sorts of ailments with what they're feeding us. So I avoid food manufacturers and I'll buy fresh fruit and veg from the farmers.
But also, without bringing into the fact that you're retired and now a man of leisure, because you're not, because you are also starting another business, that you, if you were to now edit in this with my editor, put together the clips of us from last year, you know, it's like a full year of believing and following the stuff that we're talking about. And I can see already, just looking at you, like, we both look healthier, like, and people always say to me, and I'm not like picking up, I'm not fishing for compliments, but they say like, oh, you look quite young. I mean, yes, when I'm tired, I look freaking tired. I look like skeleton, but you know, when you're eating better and your skin's more flush because you're looking after yourself.
I was still, up until 3 weeks ago, I was still doing it early as late and nights.
Yeah.
24-hour shifts, working all the time, got 10 sometimes. But because I maintain a really good diet, I don't have the sugar crashes. If you eat a lot of good proteins, you don't have that, oh, I need to eat now. Whereas before, if I was doing a late turn, I got home really late at night, I just had to eat because I was so hungry.
Yeah.
But eating the proper foods, proper carbs, that do the right things in my body, you don't have the sugar crashes. You think, oh, I'll wait till breakfast.
So we can cessate our hunger or like postpone our hunger by eating higher protein density foods.
Yep.
We can stock the cupboards with the right foods to have.
Yep.
We can try and actually give ourselves a pat on the back when we catch ourselves in that moment.
Yep.
So we can say, well, I'm actually going to give myself a mental reward for not eating the Maltesers or the, Kinder eggs. And then obviously eating higher nutritional value food in whatever shape or form it comes in without being a nutritionist. So basically just more simple home cooked food.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
And then what else could we do to and then having a goal. So having a vision or a goal of an end goal.
And again, I don't go for weight, go for clothes.
Okay.
So there's either, women always easy, there's that dress that they want to get into.
Yeah.
But
do you want to drop 2 dress sizes?
I'm down to my last belt buckle.
Yeah.
So I'd already put that one in, so I've got to do another one. So I've gone down, what was that, 3 belt holes.
Yeah.
So that to me is a big win.
Yeah.
But that's not, I don't know how.
And you've got stronger because you are still doing CrossFit.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's just losing muscle.
No, not at all.
No.
So I've not weighed myself because the muscle will be putting on the weight in a way.
Yeah.
But my belt sizes have gone down.
Yeah.
I've had to buy a new fleet of trousers, new fleet of pants because they don't fit anymore, which is a good thing. Good thing to have.
Yeah. So, but it's really hard when you're staring down the barrel of a gun of like being 20, 30 kilos overweight. All your systems is messed up. You're sweating profusely on the way to work. Your shirts feel like shit.
You need to be accountable, not to yourself, to someone else.
Okay.
And that's where you come in.
Or you, either way, it's not just accountable to your coach, but I mean, look, I made a video the other day, it's all great us talking about this stuff. And I think consistently we've shown some consistency in the fact that we're going to keep talking about it till we help people. Because my main priority would be to help other people get where I needed the help, similar to you. And you're doing another great project, which we'll probably end up having to do a whole podcast about that, which you're doing CPTSD, which is critical.
Complex. PTSD.
Yeah, good. But we stay consistent. We offer the same message to people, but really I've learned over a year of being a coach and longer is that if you're not ready and you ain't find that reason why, then we can be here all day long and you can pay us, but it ain't going to fix your problem because you're not, we can keep you accountable, but if you're not ready to be accountable, then there is nothing to be kept accountable to.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And I'm honest with my clients. If it's not going to work, then you're not my client because we're wasting my time and your time. But when you're ready, we can do it. I mean, even if it's just sending a picture of your dinner to someone you know. So look, I've had a healthy meal. Or in a group, no, I've got this healthy meal. You've just give yourself a little pat on the back and somebody else is going, oh, and you might influence somebody else to start that journey.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Well, I think we smashed that. That was I'm pretty sure that we did that. That was everything we needed to cut. Well, roughly. We talked about some good tricks and tips on how to sort food out. We summarised some good goal markers for what's going to help you get towards making those right decisions. If you do need some knowledge and some recipe ideas, I'm sure both of us have some fun recipes. But as you said, play, experiment, get a cookbook, watch a 5-minute YouTube video. Most things with chicken go well with tomato. Yeah. You can add cream, theoretically. If it's, because you're not eating sugar in the day, So you can still have good fats. You can still have those things. Back to that extremity is that people believe that they can't put stuff in food because they need to have low calorie food.
If you enjoy a food, let's work around so you enjoy that food. As long as it's not an ultra processed food in a packet, if you can make something, then that's 10 times better than an ultra processed food. And if you enjoy it, most of what you've just made is beneficial. If there's a bit of cream on there, enjoy it.
Yeah. So, follow and subscribe. Catch Rich at the link below and also at your new website up.
cptsdrelief.com.
Cool. And on Insta, still got your thing, or are you changing it?
Oh, Insta's on now CPTSD Relief.
Are you?
Yeah, and Rik Stevens at CPTSD Relief. But I think on Facebook. I changed them all in the last couple of days, but it's all changing.
Cool. But you still got your other jokey one if people can find it.
On Instagram, that's just Rik Dude 1.
Rik Dude 1, yeah.
I do a series of just dad jokes.
Dad jokes,
One, to upset my kids, but two, people look at it and it makes their day.
I know, it does. I still get some of them and I'm like, who is that funny guy? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's Rik. Yeah. Good. All right. Well, look, guys, anything you do, just look after yourselves. Get involved. If you want to join a gym or go to a gym or go for a walk with someone, don't do it all alone. You know, you're doing it for the kids or you're doing it for your friends. You know, a lot of us need each other out there. So it's better to stay fit, try and stay healthy with a lot of stresses that are going on in the world. We know things are stressful, but enjoy it, have fun. And if you like the content, obviously drop us some comments. And if it helped you, share it with somebody else. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.